We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Detective Comics number 973. This is the finale of Fall of the Batmen, written by James Tynion IV. Jesus Merino pencils, Jason Wright colors, Sal Cipriano letters, Guillem March and Morey did the cover, Dave Walgo's assistant editor, Chris Conroy editor, Brian Cunningham group editor. Now the cover is pretty cool, but the more you look at it, the more flaws you find with it. Like Batman's face looks really weird. At first glance, it's okay. The general concept's good, and it's the proportions more than anything that bothered me. Otherwise, it's an okay cover. We get a flashback as to the Belfry being built and what the idealistic nonsense was behind it, and I don't know why anybody is listening to a idealistic teenager when deciding to spend millions of dollars building a vigilante army. That doesn't seem like a particularly good idea. I don't care if the kid is a genius. He lacks the life experience. Anyway, there's a giant monster wandering the streets of Gotham. Tim gets himself a lovely concussion, but things are out of control. These protesters that are the first victim syndicate patsies, the sort of useful idiots, are put in the path of trouble, and it's really the first victim's idea to cause as much chaos as possible, and Anarchy gets upset with her. I don't know why. He's an anarchist, but he's actually more like a closet communist than anything else, because of the way that he's been written several times throughout the run of Tynion is more like an angry little communist or a extreme socialist than as a anarchist, because this would be more along the lines of what real anarchy is, unless he's one of those people that doesn't understand the definition of anarchy. Meanwhile, it looks like Dr. Victoria has come up with a solution that she gives to Orphan to go out and use on their roving monster problem. Well, there's some nonsense between Anarchy and the first victim that just sort of like gets haphazardly resolved off panel, and then you see the result of it. It was kind of rushed and lazy, and they spend a lot of time showing the Batmobile driving around fighting monsters. Meanwhile, Cassie talks to Basil, and they start to have actually a really interesting conversation, and then there is a massive twist ending that was really effective. It was pretty harsh. So the twist ending was a little predictable because we had a little bit of foreshadowing of it from future Batman, but it was definitely unexpected in some regards if you haven't been paying attention. But if you kind of read between the lines, you knew what was coming, and they hinted at it last issue, but you didn't think it would happen. All in all, it was a rather realistic, plausible ending to the scenario that was set forth. But of course, this is DC Comics, and we're going to get a lot of navel-gazing and whining about it next issue, I have no doubt. All in all, an okay issue. It could have spent more time on the protesters, because they really didn't talk about that and how they're starting to riot. That became like a background situation that really needed more attention than it got. This could have been a much better storyline if they weren't focusing on the interpersonal drama aspects of it and making it more soap opera. If they had taken those soap opera elements out and made it more of an adventure story, it probably would have been a much better storyline. As it is, I don't think I'd pay cover price for it. It's worth $1 or $2, but that's about it. It's better than most of the other issues in the storyline so far, in my opinion. Would I recommend it? Only if you're hard up or you find it in a bargain bin and you can get the whole storyline. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense. You can't really jump into any of these Tynion issues without knowing what's happened for the past year in the series. So I'm really disappointed with that. This storyline has been better than the previous one, but it still suffers from a lot of the soap opera elements, making it to where you have to read a lot of background before understanding fully what's going on. But the ending was definitely setting it up for a compelling next issue, hopefully, but we'll find out. As it is, I would recommend this one, but only if you find it cheap. That's just my take. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you want to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description and on the About page, and we hope to see you on the next one.